Oh my God, you went so long without putting up a show. It's like been forever. Shut up, voice in my head. I moved. Anyway, it's episode 97 finally. I finally found all the wires and plugs and gizmos to my equipment. And now we can do a show.
There's a show.
Yeah.
This is it.
So we got Leon and we got the Doc on.
Hey guys.
People.
And yeah, we're gonna do the first show from Queens.
Hey.
No more Brooklyn.
We're in Astoria.
Yeah.
Astoria AQ. You know they call Astoria the AQ. Fuck the BK. It's the AQ.
Where does the Q come from?
Queens.
But what's...
Oh, really? Did you?
I thought it was like part of the Astoria. Like,
It's fucking AQ.
There's no Q in Astoria.
Astoria, Queens, baby. This is the place to be. Great neighborhood. What do you think so far?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
A lot of shit going on down here, isn't there?
There is. It's a lot more stuff than my last neighborhood.
It's very lively.
I would like to tell you guys the story of my move, though.
Oh, we're gonna jump right into it.
Might as well start, let's tell about how we got here. I mean, we can't just start in a new borough.
Wait,
and,
all right, so.
Wait, your stuff didn't just appear here, like all arranged?
No, there's no pile of junk in the background for those of you watching live. If you're, I record a lot of the videos now, so you can watch them. I don't know why you'd want to watch, but whatever. Some people like to watch, so that's an option. Anyway, where do we start? Oh, we start from the night before because that's an integral part of the move. So I want to say, anybody who is thinking about moving, don't. If you have any sort of option where you may or may not move, choose the do not move option because moving is the worst. It's one of the worst things you could go through in life.
I disagree.
You enjoyed your move.
Well, here's the thing. The beauty of moving is not having to move yourself. Meaning that all you gotta do is, dude, and you're gonna get into this part of your story as well. The beauty is if you don't have to move couches or beds or dressers yourself, and somebody else does it, and it's to a bigger apartment or a better neighborhood, fucking A, I'm all over it.
So you actually got somebody to move yourself?
Yeah. Well, and we put an arm and a leg for somebody to do it for us.
Ah, see, therein lies the thing. I don't have that kind of money.
And Jay likes his arms and legs.
I do.
Yeah, well,
very attached to them.
So take that as a note for the future. Is actually my girlfriend and I who live together. We have this thing where we ended up having to pay out of our fucking asses to be able to afford to buy these movers because honestly, I don't like bothering my friends with hey, you want to come help me move? I'm 31 years old. I've kind of been past that. I did that when I was in my 20s. I don't want to bother anybody to do it. I also don't want to do it myself. I'll carry the light stuff myself, but I'd rather have just professional movers come in, wrap my shit up, put it in a truck, drop it off, take it upstairs, put it in the center, I'll unwrap it, done.
Well, that was my other thing.
So,
I got about 8 of my friends to help me move last time, and since then they all moved. So I ended up moving apartments like every other month for an entire year, and I'm like, well, that wasn't really worth the help because I'm like a professional mover at this point.
Yeah.
And so I decided not to call in friendships either, which I will get into my alternative. Which was I don't know if it was better or worse at this point, but I want to start with the night before because I figured I'm leaving my old apartment. It was a good apartment. It was
a fucking great apartment.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I lived there for several years.
Yeah, the Doc was there for 2 years. Many a parties, many a good time.
Awesome apartment.
Yeah, we're gonna miss the place, so I figured what better way to send the apartment off, but with a bash, which
I wish I was there. Wasn't there?
Yeah,
I mean, neither.
Yeah, Doc was working. Leon, I don't know, hungover.
Leon had diarrhea. If you really want to know.
All right, well, explosive
TMI.
diarrhea. But we did have a good time. But it was one of those nights where I don't know if you ever had these nights where you're drinking most of the night and everything's fine and you're you got a good buzz, but everything's okay. And then all of a sudden, bang, you're just completely fucked up. And you're just like, holy shit, I don't know where this came from, but I'm completely fucked. And that is what happened to me that night. And when you come to that realization and you know you have to wake up at the ass crack of dawn, it's a scary realization. Because you are like, oh my God, I got to wake up in 6 hours and move an entire apartment's worth of shit, and everything's spinning, and there's no way I'm going to be functional by then. So, I was panicking, and I'm drinking water and, not getting any more sober. What it was is I bought a tiny little bottle of whiskey. And I was like, well, if 8 ounces of whiskey, that's fine. I'll get a little buzz. I'll sip on the Johnny Walker. Everything will be fine. But, then...
You underestimated the power of good whiskey.
Well, no. I drank the 8 ounces and I was fine. But then we turned on Rock Band. And I needed my rock band juice. My Rock Band juice. And I was then out of whiskey. So I decided to make a vodka drink.
Whenever I drink with you, there's like a drink missing from the from the bottle, and then there's the bottle missing from the bottle. like 10 minutes later, like it's all gone. You reach this accelerated state where it's just like
where it's just chaos. Yeah. So I took a drink of vodka because that was the only thing left, and I was drinking Johnny Walker. So with Johnny Walker, you put in a couple ice cubes, and you put in the Johnny Walker, and everything's well and good. Well, with the vodka, I started doing that, and like my hand kind of slipped, and the whole cup filled up with vodka. And I'm like, all right, well, 2 ice cubes, I'm good to go. So now I'm drinking like an entire cup of vodka. Yeah, but like an entire cup of it. And vodka for me, I don't know. I just get hangovers really bad with vodka. And it might have been the mix with the whiskey, but
it might have been the ridiculous amounts of alcohol you drank.
I guess.
Were you drinking cheap vodka though?
Yeah, it depends on the type of vodka.
It was Absolute.
Oh, that's not that bad.
I think it was the mixing because I had the 8 ounces of the Johnny Walker, and then there was like 2 shots of Captain left, which I had, and then there was the cup of vodka.
You're drinking all name brand stuff, so it wasn't like the cheapest alcohol.
Yeah, but I guess if you do the math, that's still like
it's a horrendous amount of alcohol.
It's still like 9 drinks worth, I guess.
It's been scientifically proven that you know how they say liquor before beer, you're getting fucking sicker, or beer before liquor, or whatever the whole fucking
I never could tell which is first.
It's been scientifically proven, and a friend of mine actually tweeted this or put it on Facebook or something. An actual link. It's been scientifically proven that you are prone to less of a migraine the next morning, a less of a hangover, if you actually do combine drinks.
What?
If you stay with one, and you know what?
That's counterintuitive to everything I know.
Exactly. And I was analyzing the entire comment and the entire article, and I was like, whoa. And I started looking at my experience. When do I have the really, really, really bad hangovers?
Yeah.
When I drink 20 beers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, beer.
Just beer. Or if I drink like just, I'm lucky that I like, well, yeah, as you guys know, I like to indulge in my shots.
Mm-hmm.
As a beer drinker,
the shot guy.
I do shots.
You are the shot guy. We call you the shot guy.
The shot guy. But I drink beers and I complement the beer with a shot. And I wake up and I don't feel that bad. If I'm just drinking straight gin and tonics or straight a vodka and soda or beer, dude, my head kills the next day.
I don't know. I've had the opposite experience. Like, I don't know. I mean, I mostly do like rum, Captain, that kind of stuff. And if I stick with that, I usually don't have hangovers at all. But if I'm mixing vodka, beers, like, then the hangover, it takes into effect. I definitely see like this mixing beer with, I don't know, maybe
not mixing, complementing one with the other.
Right. Yeah. Because there's lots of nights where like you have a beer there, you have a beer here, you have a drink here. Do a shot. So like there's nights where you mix like a lot of different things, and those for me tend to be the worst next days.
I think it's like a science experiment.
You know what the worst?
Different combinations have different effects.
We should do the experiment right now.
Well, I think for me the experiment of whiskey, then rum, then vodka.
All right.
Explosion.
So we'll call that case number 1.
Explosion in my head.
I've kind of had a morning like you have, like the worst hungover that I've ever been in. And mind you guys, we've all been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
The worst, like to the point, like when people always say, like, oh, dude, I woke up the next morning and I dry heaved or I puked, and I'm like, I've been fucking hella fucking hungover. I've never, knock on wood, puke the next day after feeling sick. Now I came to learn that the way this would happen to me is that if I start drinking wine or mix wine with beer or alcohol, good night, Irene.
Yeah.
Mixing wine with anything, dude, you ask you for fucking trouble.
Wine's one of those things where you're either drinking wine or you're
exactly.
Yeah. I feel like that about a lot of alcohol. So, like, I feel like you should just stick to it if that's what you do. You know, like, I don't know. Like, New Year's is one of the worst hangover days for me because you end up
National Hangover Day.
Yeah, it is National Hangover Day, but it's. I always thought it was because you basically drink. Every New Year's, you basically drink every type of alcohol. Like, you know, like.
But it was put in front of you.
I mean, because there's everything. I mean, like Jello shots, you know, whatever. Like, you know, vodka, champagne, obviously.
Champagne, yeah.
You know, there's always a beer.
The champagne is what does it.
Yeah, I hate champagne.
The shitty champagne.
I cannot stand champagne.
Champagne's awesome.
Yeah, but if you have shitty champagne, you will get a hangover.
Crappy champagne,
yeah,
you know,
because everyone's like, "Oh, you know, I brought over champagne, you know, to look cool," but they
like you paid 30 cents for this.
Yeah,
shit.
they buy the $30 bottle of champagne, and it's hangover in a bottle. And you know, when you mix that on top of everything else,
but champagne on New Year's Eve is only meant to be consumed one glass.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, but you know,
that's all it takes for shitty champagne.
Champagne, no, it doesn't. Only one thing when you're done. If you're drinking cherry champagne on a brunch, then you have issues because then you know you're gonna get fucking sick drinking the shitty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's if
you're drinking more of it.
On yeah, exactly. On New Year's Eve,
you don't drink
more.
Yeah,
you can buy the Andre, you know, the cheap shit.
Yeah.
If you go on a brunch, then you need to drink the good stuff. Otherwise, you get fucking retarded and have a sick hangover.
Throw up on my guitar, like one of our friends.
Well, I feel like the champagne's always the feather that breaks the camel's back. You know, it's like you're almost ready to like have a really bad night, and then you drink the champagne, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
See, this is why I'm telling this story with you guys, because I tried to do a solo cast this afternoon.
I thought you did one last night.
No, I decided to
didn't do it?
I just decided to argue with my girlfriend on the phone instead.
Fun
Then this afternoon I tried to do a solo cast, and you know, I told the whole story in like 15 minutes. Now we're 15 minutes in, and we didn't even get through the first night yet. So this is why, you know,
the interaction is good.
The interaction is good because you know.
Yeah, we tend to go on tangents, but it's good.
And you know what? And you got two of your compatriots, man. You got the doc and myself. We're having a good time.
Even though you guys weren't present, you know, you feel where I'm at. I want to set the setting for this ridiculousness.
Right, so,
it wasn't my intention. It wasn't my.
So we're at. You drank obscene amounts of alcohol. That's where we're at. Right?
It was all right. It was a lot of alcohol, but I've drank more during this show. I've drank more, and you know, it was just one of those nights where it just hits you.
Basically, you drank enough that any other human would be totally wrecked, but for you, it was average.
No. I think it's like about the instant sometimes where like it just creeps up on you.
Yeah.
And Doc, I know you've been there. I know that I've been there. Where like I'm feeling good. 1 second. And then the next minute, I'm like, holy shit, I got a foot in the gutter. You know?
Yeah, that's the way alcohol is.
Yeah.
It's like thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Oh my god, no.
Well, but usually I could feel myself getting progressively drunk.
Well, that's the standard. That's what usually happens.
I think.
So I hear what you're saying.
I think for
sure.
Doc and I were talking about this earlier. I think it's vodka.
Vodka has I think vodka has this delayed effect.
Vodka is a creeper drunk.
Yeah,
vodka is a creeper.
My experience with vodka is you don't feel like anything's going on like for the first 15 minutes. So if you drink a lot, you're like, oh, I'm fine. And then if you've drank enough, you just fall on your face. Like,
yeah.
Because it, you know, like every other alcohol, like you kind of, it like you feel it, you know, it's like, you know, I'm getting drunker. All right. You know, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
But, you know, with vodka, it's like, oh, this is nothing. It's like water, you know, this is nothing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Yeah, you're right. I think it is one of those creepers.
Yeah, it's you know where you stand with vodka and rum, and
so where you go? I know you have a story to tell. Want to talk to us?
Okay, I'm just apologizing to my buddy here.
Yeah, that's my link that I posted, right?
Yeah.
What?
And Jay's apologizing to somebody.
Yeah, our buddy Joel. I told him I'd call him when we got to Astoria, and I forgot, and I really apologize.
Hey, Joel.
Yeah, well, I think Joe should hop on a train and get his ass to that fucking Astoria.
Whatever train goes from where he's at to here.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh, wait, the G train, right? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, by the time we're done with the show, we'll be ready to go out. So,
absolutely. So
come on over.
Talk to us, Professor.
I'm the professor.
Actually, I'm the prof. No.
The professor is somebody else.
He's a storyteller.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the show for a while, but anyway, so basically that's what happened. I got completely, it crept up on me, and I realized, but I didn't realize in time. Drank a lot of water, did not work. Had to get the U-Haul at 9:30 in the morning.
Oof.
Since we had a party, I didn't have the TV, the stereo, the rock band. I said, maybe we'll have an impromptu podcast. So
you left all that stuff.
All the
Wait. There was no music or podcasting equipment?
No, I'm
You
listing.
left it all up.
I'm listing all the shit that wasn't packed.
Oh.
So all the
Okay,
podcasting
gotcha.
equipment, the stereo, the TV,
Gotcha,
all this
gotcha.
shit is not
Gotcha.
packed yet.
Ooh, that sucks.
So all the fun stuff is in place, not packed.
Right, which is big, difficult stuff to pack.
Yeah, for sure.
So now, girlfriend wakes me up at like 8 in the morning because we
On a
have
Sunday.
we have to be at the U-Haul place at 9:30. So I am just fucked. I've never thrown up the day after drinking, ever. I've thrown up from drinking, but it's been that night. I've never thrown up the next day.
Yeah.
This day, didn't throw up, but I've never been closer in my entire life because I was so messed up. I'm bringing stuff, putting it in boxes, and then running to the bathroom and dry heaving. And I think the only reason I didn't
the
throw up is
worst.
because there was nothing in my stomach. Because every other box, I'm just running to the bathroom and I'm dry heaving and I'm sweating and I'm getting the shivers. I don't know if you've
I've been in that situation.
thrown up to the point where like your whole body is just like sweating, and I am just in rough shape. Nothing's coming out, but it's just as bad as if I was throwing up my
Yeah.
It was awful.
And a headache to boot, I'm assuming?
Headache, spinning. I mean, any
sounds like
awful
hell.
symptoms
And I've
of
been there,
being
I'm
hungover.
sure,
This
I've
is
been to work that way. Not pretty.
I've gone to work. When I was doing my residence in the city, it was happened a couple times.
And girlfriend at this point, nonplussed at my condition at this point.
She's not happy.
Not happy and not sympathetic.
Not pleased with your antics.
Freaking out, at the fact that things are unpacked as it is. The fact that I'm running into dry heave every 5 seconds doesn't add to her mood.
Where's the sympathy?
I'm like, you should feel for me because I'm the one who is feeling sick and throwing up.
No, but you can't ask that from living girlfriends because they'd be like, well, then you shouldn't have drunk so much last night.
Right.
Well, should have, could have.
From experience.
I'm in this situation now. Feel sorry for me.
Right. Well, maybe you should have
Yeah, see, that's
stopped
why
me.
that's why you don't have a living girlfriend.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have stopped
probably
me.
true.
You saw me pouring those drinks. Maybe you should have said, hey.
No,
you-
that's for your pain.
I know that shit doesn't
my,
fly.
My,
but
my
I'm just saying.
girlfriend would have not cared. She was like, you know what, Leon? And this is exactly how she would say it. You know what, Leon? You put yourself in this predicament. We need to do this now. Get up.
Mhm.
And I'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the way it was. But I said, I'm dry heaving every 5 seconds. Probably shouldn't be driving the U-Haul at this point. Didn't go over it too well, but it was agreed upon. So she drove the U-Haul.
nice.
Yeah. So,
Oh man, I drove.
You
one of
get,
those.
you get for the manly rule.
well, I've also crashed every U-Haul I've driven, and I think we've done that. We've gone over those stories on previous shows. I've driven 3 U-Hauls and crashed 3 U-Hauls.
Wow.
So, yeah, nothing horrible, but
You're 0-3, buddy.
yeah, nothing horrible, but I have crashed them. So I figured that combined with the fact that I can't even function, probably shouldn't be driving one. So we got the U-Haul, and then we're like, well, we decided not to call any of our friends. We need to have help moving. So what are we going to do? We're going to go shopping for Mexicans. So
Quarter of the night, we're gonna go shopping for Mexico.
Did you early in the morning go driving on a certain street and pick them up?
Oh, he'll get there. Jay actually
Yeah,
told me this story. It was just
yeah,
fucking.
I know that's
We're
how,
going there. We're
I
going
know how
there.
that some people find Mexicans, but
yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, there are groups, gaggles of illegal immigrants who stand on a corner waiting to get picked up for just such circumstances.
And let me just kind of preface this by saying that this isn't by any means have an undertone of racism or bigotry. I myself am Latino, and this to me is funny. So, Jay, the floor is yours.
We have the approval of
No,
Leon.
because other people will think, he's being racist, he's being a bigot. This is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, please don't think that.
This is the situation. This is
This
is what exists. This is this is the situation that we have.
Yeah, they're not all Mexican, but they are all.
I heard they were Ecuadorian.
Yeah, actually, the guy I picked up was.
Are you kidding me?
No. Actually, Guatemalan. But
not close.
they're all Central American.
No.
Pretty much. No.
Ecuador is South America. Guatemala is in Central America.
Okay, well, they're all from.
Logistics.
So
I happen to cover that territory for work. Logistics.
They're all from Americas that are south of North America. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, anyway, I just say shopping for Mexican because it's fun. It's funny.
Shopping for Spicks. I can say it.
all right,
Okay, I can't say that. You can say that.
Fucking wetbacks.
So,
It's like me saying dotheads or something.
Yeah, sorry, which I can't say.
Yeah.
So basically,
But everyone can make fun of the Irish, so it's cool.
yeah, whatever.
Fucking mix.
So basically, we go. We know this area where they all hang out.
What side?
Hang out like
Sorry.
Could have been there,
trying
yeah.
to make a living.
Yeah,
hang
could
out.
have.
Sorry.
Could have been there. So
Queens.
we turn the corner and they see us from as we're turning
With
the
a
corner.
with a U-Haul.
Well, my girlfriend's in the U-Haul, and behind the U-Haul is me and her friend in a van. Second, we turn the corner, they're already waving at us, and
Because you have a U-Haul and a van.
they want work, and this is what they want this actually.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
you say, these poor people they have to do. They
Not poor people. They want that work. They're looking for that work.
They want this work.
100%.
Now this turned into a zombie movie, but instead of zombies, it was illegal immigrants because we pulled over in the van and I got out of the car and about 25 people start walking toward me, and it was fucking scary. I don't have my wits about me. I've never done this before, and I got 25 people walking toward me, and I don't know what is going on.
It kind of reminds me, like, if you get out of an airport or a train station and you see, like, 30 cab drivers at you, like,
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
first of
yeah.
all, like, I don't care who you are.
That's
I don't
a
know
good
how
comparison.
to pick. I don't know how to pick which one I like better. I mean, I just
Good
met you.
comparison,
It's like, just because I'm choosing this guy doesn't mean I hate the other 29 cab drivers. Like, I just want to get home. I just want the guy that'll get me home. It's like, just like you just want people who'll move your shit, which is pretty much any of them.
Right,
You have to
right.
pick some of them, I guess, right?
Yeah. So this guy, I guess he must get more work than anybody because he spoke up. And,
Well, yeah, I mean,
Did he speak English?
yeah, and I'm just I'm so fucked up.
Good
Like
English.
you're like, I speak English and you speak English.
he's
so
like
that works.
he's like you need two guys, and I was like yeah I need two guys. He's like me and him. I'm like yeah you and him, perfect, awesome. And him and the other guy jump in the van, and these other guys are still like walking toward us like a fucking zombie movie, and I was like no mas.
I like how you know how do you know the phrase no mas?
I know a lot of
mas.
Spanish. I do. It helps because it's going to be our national language in
I
about
speak
3
fluent.
years.
No,
so.
it's gonna be.
Well,
it's
yeah,
gonna be Chinese.
you do.
I speak. Spanish is my native tongue.
They didn't know
I learned English, but I like the fact that you know no mas.
Yeah.
They didn't know I spoke Spanish, and
You don't speak Spanish.
because we were driving, and we passed a girl, and the guy called her fat and ugly in Spanish to himself,
You
and
knew?
he didn't know. Yeah, because he goes gordo feo,
Gorda fea.
and I started laughing. And he didn't know I spoke Spanish.
You don't speak Spanish.
Well, I knew
You
fat
get
and
enough
ugly in
to get
Spanish.
by.
Okay, you speak Spanish.
I know enough.
Not fluently, but you
No.
know.
You don't know Spanish. Anyway,
Oh yeah, well I knew that. If I didn't speak Spanish, I wouldn't know that.
you don't speak Spanish.
Oh yeah, all right, fine.
Should we do the rest of the podcast in Spanish?
No, he's not fluent.
Yeah, I know.
He understands. Just
I
like
could
I
do
do
stuff.
I mean,
you know.
I know.
probably the
I
same
was
amount.
busting his chops.
Un poco.
Like where I did residency, it was Bellevue, so there was a lot of Hispanic population.
For the specs.
Yeah.
You say.
So anyway, I learned the basics.
Enfermo, Dios
Yeah,
mío.
exactly. Dolor, like Dolor. Where?
Pain!
Donde? How do you say everywhere? I don't even remember.
No, yeah, dolor donde? En toda parte?
Yeah, basically they said pain everywhere. That is basically every patient I had was paint everywhere.
Dios mío.
I'm like,
Enfermo.
yeah. And then, when I was a medical student, I learned empuje because I did my
Push.
when I did my OB rotation. Empuje, that's how you get the baby out.
Right.
So I picked up a little bit to get by. But that's all I know.
Yeah, so I knew a little.
But empuje means push, like outward. I don't know what.
Well, that's what we want the ladies to do to get the babies out.
Okay. Sorry, Jack.
I don't want them to pull.
I thought you wanted to pull. For me, empuje is to like outward push.
Yeah.
Not to inward push.
So the babies are in the lady.
Oh yeah.
We want the babies out of the lady.
Yeah.
So we want some pushing going on. Because in English we say
touche.
In English we say push.
See, you know what? I have this joke with my friends that whenever I have a language mistake, I say second language. I just blame it on that. Anyways.
Anyway, that's what everyone else was doing, so I just joined in and said empuje. We want this to be over.
Who's Indian guy yelling empuje?
We want this to be over. You want this to be over. We're working on the same team here.
All right, Jay. What's up?
So what happened? So you picked them up.
They got in the van, and as I'm closing my door, cop car turns around the corner, flashes its lights. I'm telling you, I can't do anything with a normal story.
Oh man, that's messed up.
So the lights are blaring, and we are just like,
oh no,
what the fuck? The cop yells something out the window, and then keeps going.
Oh, okay.
So we're like
a little scared or whatever.
Well, yeah, scared, but
a little pee was in your pants.
Yeah, a little tinkle.
Understandably so.
Not a full flood, but a little tinkle. So then we turn the corner, and these guys don't even ask like what we're doing, how much it is. They're just sitting there in the back seat. I'm like, really? This is. So I turn around, I'm like, we're moving to apartment. We're moving from one apartment to the other. It's 2-bedroom. Not too bad.
We need everything that used to be here to be in this other apartment.
Right, exactly. And I'm like 60 each, and the other guy goes 80, and I'm just like, motherfucker! Like I wasn't prepared for this. Like I'm still hungover. I didn't think negotiating was in the books. I thought they just sat in there and did what they were told, and then that was it. So. Luckily, the girl that was driving has done this before, and she turns around and she goes, 60 each, or I'll turn around and kick you guys out. And I'm just like, fucking awesome. And they're like, all right, keep going. I'm like, all right, good.
68, all right. Well, that's a good compromise.
Yeah, 60 each isn't bad. It's,
60. I thought you had 68.
No.
Oh, so she didn't budge a bit. Wow.
No, she didn't budge a bit. She's just like,
nice.
It's 60, or I will kick you out of my van.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So we get them. We go to the apartment, and it's I think pretty much the rest of the move went fairly smoothly.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You picked them up in a U-Haul.
No. My girlfriend's in the U-Haul.
You picked them up in a van?
We're in the van behind the U-Haul.
Who has the van?
My girlfriend's friend has the van.
Oh.
And so she's the one who drove and picked them up, and I was in the was shotgun, and they were in the back seat.
You can fast forward back to what you would have said. Okay, I got it.
So everything else went okay?
Pretty much. I mean,
So these guys did everything? You just had to kind of direct them, or did you help a little?
I did help. I helped as much as I could.
You want it to be over, it's like.
Well, yeah, and we told them it was going to be 4 to 5 hours, and I don't want it to take like 7 hours, right. And then then they're going to start complaining, and then we got to do more negotiating, and that's I'm just not
Mastinero.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to get it done as quick as possible. Plus, it sucks. I wanted to get done early and at least get here in enough time to like set up something, set up the bed or So
I mean, I agree with Leon. Like, getting to a new place can sometimes be exciting and fun, but the actual move is always horrible.
I think that's what I was trying to say. Is that getting to a new place in a new neighborhood and a new apartment is
it's
awesome,
exciting. It's exciting,
but the actual process can suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I remember
you spent a lot more money than we did, so you did a lot less than we did.
No,
so.
but we still did do a lot of a lot of the things that we like China or like pictures stuff that we didn't want to. A potentially sacrifice to a mover.
Mm-hmm.
We did have to do ourselves. But the process of still having to unbox everything, and it still sucks. But the feeling of being in a new apartment in a new neighborhood, to me, is fucking exciting. I get to try the restaurants, try the bars.
Yeah.
Pay like
No, I
rent
mean,
for
I think
more
once
shit.
once you actually get your stuff in and you start making the place your own, it's fun.
We got
Yeah, actually, yeah, I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah. So we're gonna
So-
take a 2-minute break.
So that was the story of your movement, man.
I think so.
And that's how we find ourselves right
Here.
now in Astoria, Queens, New York, 11103.
Now I have a few comments on the new place, which
Okay.
it's take it for what it is.
There were some unexpected.
Yeah,
things.
we'll get into the unexpected
All right.
things when we
Right
get
on.
back.
Some
There was
surprises.
there
Hold
was
tight,
there was
folks.
some by the way, I forgot to mention this. When we moved in, and
If you want heat, you got to turn this lever all the time.
yeah,
Oh, you don't
All
have.
right, so let's take care of that.
You know those people you hired. You have to actually hire one all the time to actually keep your heat going.
yeah. So we'll do that when we get back, and 631. What is the number?
Oh, you got a new number. That's right.
No. The number for the show should be the same. 676-1181. Is that what it is?
I
So you're
have
sure, my man.
no way of knowing whether that's correct or not. So
Yeah,
I'm just a
676-1181.
guest.
I'll have to agree.
All right, call that number, and we'll be back in a minute.
All right, guys.
All right.
Peace.
You're listening to Neanderthal Radio, the most ruthless show in the universe. Let's fucking party.
As soon as I started my piss stream, he flicked the light on and just started looking out the window. And I just stood as still as I possibly could, and he never saw me because I just lurk in the shadows like a goddamn ninja.
Let's break this down. When we're doing the show, here's the 3 things that go through our minds. 1, do we have 6? Cha-ching, yes. 2, can I go buy some beer? Cha-ching, yes, I can. And 3, will my Dell laptop fire up one more goddamn time? Please do it, because it doesn't have a battery.
And all we're thinking about the whole time is afterwards going to Sheets and getting greasy food.
Have I taken my underwear off so I can get more cozy in my chair? Oh, I didn't tell you guys about that? Sorry, that's fucked up.
I'm sitting here naked.
You better get yourself a sandwich right now,
And a beer.
and a
And
beer,
a cig.
and maybe if you're going to jack off, do it now.
Yeah, do it
Plenty
now.
of cigs.
Yeah, we got plenty of cigs to go around for
Yeah.
everybody. We got diesels,
And if
we
you're
got diesel trucks
and if
outside.
you're on listening to this on an iPod or computer, stop. Burn it to a disc and put it in a stereo because we're gonna rock your fucking face.
And if you can do it, possibly burn it to a record player because that'll sound real sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
Check out the show at neanderthalradio.com. Naked women and free beer. Every Thursday night. Subscribe.
All right, we're back on the Brink of Sanity show.
We're back.
Yep, thanks for listening. So where were we? We were talking about moving, and
And then arriving, and then there was some stuff that you found out about this particular apartment.
oh yeah, like the floors that feel like you're gonna fall through them when you walk on them.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's not good either.
Oh. Is that everywhere? I mean, I didn't really notice it.
No, just the bedrooms.
Oh, okay.
Just the bedrooms.
Just what, they creak or something, or
Yeah. If you walk,
yeah, that's
right.
I think that's pretty I mean, not that it shouldn't be in your apartment, but it does happen in some places, unfortunately.
Also, some sick fuck outside got a wind chime. What kind of demented, twisted fuck gets a wind chime in an apartment building?
Yeah, it's true. Everyone hears it. Right?
Seriously,
Yeah.
what? First of all, what's the point of a wind chime to begin with? Like
It lets you know if it's windy.
Oh, good. Thank you. Great.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still windy.
Also, you could just
Awesome.
go outside and see that it's windy.
Or yeah, it's like I need to know this all night. At 3 a.m, I need to hear twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.
You can actually hear wind. You don't actually need the chimes to tell you.
Is that supposed to be pretty? Do people say like, "Oh my god, that's beautiful"?
I think wind chimes are fine and all. I think they're kind of cool.
Well, if you have a
actually.
house.
If you live in a house.
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean-
Exactly, Doc. Exactly. You know.
Yeah, if you have an apartment building, you're an obnoxious asshole.
Absolutely.
I mean, about like hundreds of people are hearing the same,
Obnoxious noise.
yeah. And there's no clock on a wind chime. I mean, it's it's always.
There's
Whenever there's
absolutely there's no point in having wind chimes.
Unless you want to annoy everyone around you, then it does the job.
Yeah, no. If you have wind chimes, you're just a complete asshole. There's really no other reason to have wind chime. You want to hear twinkling every time the wind blows ever. For the rest of the times, you just want to hear twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. Asshole.
I hate, especially when I'm sleeping. Like I hate all random noises. Like you ever like fall asleep and then you just hear there's something in the background. Like if you have
something not necessary.
Yeah,
and you're just like that's
sometimes,
not necessary.
Like if you leave your computer on, there's some interference or something. It makes this weird sound, and then I wake up and I'm like, what is that sound and how can I stop it? Like I'm just like, I turn off my computer and it's still going. I'm like, what the fuck is it?
Yeah, it's almost as painful as I have an opera singer in my apartment building.
Oh, well, that's worse.
Who's not in the front of the building, she's in the rear of the building,
which is where you are,
like yours truly. And so we hear opera practice a lot.
You ever yell, "You suck"? Boo!
I wanted to. I'm a huge fan of the arts, and I can appreciate
encore.
But I'm like, really? It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Really? This what I'm waking up to? You practicing your opera?
That's not cool.
Take that shit to fucking Lincoln Center, for God's sakes.
You're like uncool.
If you're gonna do shit like that, that shit should be strictly between.
You like knock on his door. Yeah, you're like uncool.
Yeah, noon and 5 p.m. for shit like that. I think 5 hours is enough to practice, and those are hours where.
But they would be home because they're not performing. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be performing, and it's not hours where people are still going to be maybe trying to sleep or trying to.
Yeah, like at least till noon. I mean, people, go out. I mean, you want to sleep till noon.
Or like Jay was saying, like I don't give a fuck if you practice from 9 to 6 during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Knock yourself out. I'm not home.
Yeah.
On a Saturday morning, guess what? I'm fucking home, and I'm looking to do one thing: sleep.
Well, even if you're not sleeping, you don't want to hear a fucking opera.
Yeah, I mean, you may not want to.
Not unless I paid for it. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Well, you're going out. You're going out to listen to it. It's different as opposed to being woken up by it when you don't want to be woken up.
And if they're practicing in their apartment, they're not good enough.
Actually,
beautiful. Next,
I'm not sure if I know the difference between good opera and bad opera. To be honest,
I know
it all kind of. I mean, I guess I could probably tell what really bad opera is. But
yeah, I could tell bad opera from really shitty opera. That's about the extent.
Good opera, I don't really,
It's all just a bunch of fucking noise.
Yeah.
At 10 in the morning.
Yeah, to me, it's just someone's singing at a very high voice, and I don't know. Some people love it. I can tolerate it.
Somebody could be fucking opera singing with Leon's cock is huge. Still don't want to hear it.
There's some art forms I just don't get. I mean, I could understand the appeal of opera, but after like 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, I get the point. Time to move on.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's like I don't want to be so far out of like a cool neighborhood where, I'm in a house. On the other hand, I don't want to deal with anybody else's shit. I don't want to hear anybody else. So, like, I don't know what to do at this point.
Yeah, like right now, I'm sort of temporarily living in the middle of nowhere. It's nice, it's peaceful. There's tons of trees, and you're not stuck in buildings all the time. You're not seeing pavement all the time. But it's boring as hell. So it's like it's always one or the other. And you have to deal with neighbors right on top of you, right above you, right below you. Like it's nice having living in a house. But then, there's less stuff to do, not as many people to interact with,
I don't want to hear anybody. I don't.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I don't want to totally seclude myself. On the other hand, I may want to seclude myself.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you'd be more appropriate to live like in a house in the suburbs.
Yeah.
I could totally see you like ending up there pretty soon.
I'm at the point where I could just grow a long beard. And,
you think? I don't know. Jay's
you like people. I mean, all of us like people, but then, the city has its own annoying things. It's like, overall, like I think I'm a city person. Like temporarily I'm not in the city, but I really enjoy living in the city. But you definitely have your pluses and minuses.
Of course, and like I'm also a city person. Just kind of going back to the comment that you said earlier, where like you think that Jay would be better off not in the city, like around people. I think Jay's very much a city person. I think Jay. I think Jay very much enjoys having his friends over and kind of have it being a
Yeah,
very
you know, that's-
communal kind of
I think that's a problem.
social thing.
The further out you
And
get,
I think
it's
I
very
think it's
hard.
good. Well, like Jay wouldn't fare well in the middle of nowhere because nobody
I think most people. I think most people would. To be honest, all of us.
No, but some would. But like for example, Jay is always the kind of guy where like no matter where he lives, Jay's apartment is always the nucleus of a lot of his friends, you know, or the people that know him. For example, like we always went to Jay's house to hang out. I always went to your apartment, you know.
Right, because I was there.
You know, what for example, like
I went 10
Alex, like the professor,
Yeah.
like Joel, like we would all always congregate at Jay's apartment.
Yeah.
Jay's apartment, and when you were living with him, it was like the Jay and professor always kind of like the place to
was,
be.
yeah.
So like having you guys,
And that's how I
live
got to know
elsewhere
all
is
you
kinda
guys.
weird.
You know?
Exactly.
Because
And vice
I was a
versa.
roommate, and we got to be good friends.
Yeah, so like I think Jay in the middle of nowhere wouldn't fare very well. I think Jay enjoys kind of
But it's not just
being
him.
in a social
You know,
contact.
I feel the
you
same
know.
way, though. I
what do
mean,
you think,
you know,
Oh, it's I don't know. It's
I think it's
hard.
plus or minus too, though. I mean, there's definitely some things that living in the city can be a little annoying
Well,
sometimes.
I like people coming to visit. On the other hand, I hate having other people around me. I would like to just own like a building where I wouldn't have to deal with people above or below me or next to me, or you know.
Yes, you may need to make a couple $1 million first.
Yeah,
then.
that's not really an
Yeah, you can move to New
option.
Jersey.
And you know, to do that, I would have to move far enough out where I wouldn't have people
well,
over.
People
it's,
wouldn't go exactly.
it's a very tough.
I mean,
Slippery slope.
It's
Yeah.
the same dilemma. I think I have the same dilemma too. You know, it's like, you know, I want to get a place in the city, but you know, when you like go, you know, when you think about how much it costs and what you
But
get
you're a
for it.
doctor. You can get an apartment in the city.
No, I know I can. I'm just, you know, I don't want to live in a box either. You know, so it's like, you know, or pay a ton of money for a box. You know, so I mean, I definitely like am entertaining it, but you know, the value you get like in the city is like nothing.
Well, that's why you should buy a fucking apartment in Astoria where it's big and it's cheap. And the nightlife in Astoria or the restaurant, it's fucking,
It's not out of the question,
dynamic and
yeah.
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna.
I'm
Think
a huge
about
fan.
it.
I'm a huge fan of Astoria, by the
Yeah.
way.
Well, now I have, you know, two good friends living here. It's definitely an option. I'll look.
We're gonna
into
try
it.
to get Joel to move to Astoria as well.
Joel might.
He hasn't
to
seen
leave
our
the-
places
to
yet.
leave the-
After he sees our places, he might.
I
Is
can
he-
see Joel being in this area.
Fuck, he
Joel,
will love
Joel would totally fit
Astoria.
in this area.
Astoria's the fucking tits.
He's paying what we're paying, and he's like in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere, so he might.
He would do better in this area. And you know, if you look at his apartment and the apartments around here, I mean, I think it would be an upgrade for him anyway. So
It would definitely.
you know, for the amount that he's paying. So you know,
The party we were at earlier today, the guy is paying literally double what I'm paying.
in the East Village. But yeah, it was a nice apartment. But
Was that smart?
it was decent. I mean, you know, it's not like
You pay for it's all about paying for the
the
neighborhood.
location was good. The apartment wasn't huge, but it was a nice apartment with the amount of room that it had. You know, and
Right,
it had
but
some outdoor
can you
space.
justify paying $3,000 a month?
If you have a job where you can, sure.
Even if you have a job where you can, like,
And if you're young, I mean, if you're
that's a
old,
lot
you
of money, like,
Well,
sunk into nothing.
Yeah, but you know, if you want to live in the city, like $2,000 gets you like crap. So you know, like it's kind of like you know, a little bit extra for something decent. You know, but
Yeah,
it depends on what your income level is.
Well,
you
and
know?
no, I mean, and it also kind of depends on what you want. You know, I lived for 5 years on the Lower East Side. The Lower East Side to me will always be home. You know, I love that neighborhood.
It's a nice neighborhood.
I lived in 3 different apartments while I was there, and you know, basically, you're pretty much in the thicket of things. You know, I pretty much have venues, restaurants, cafes, fucking whatever, all around the Lower East Side. You know, but I'm paying. I was paying a good chunk of change for, you know, not a tiny, but a smaller apartment. And some of the things that I also had to put up with was I lived in a neighborhood where it was very neighborhoody, weekend kind of gathering spot. So there were a lot of drunks on the weekends, a lot of puke on the street on the weekends. And, you
A
know,
lot of just random yells.
So during the week it's great because, you know, you have a community there that, you know, we all go and go to the restaurants for great restaurants where we have great chefs who are cooking food, and they do it for the residents, and then they come on the weekend, it turns into a fucking zoo.
You know, I've noticed that about the city. Like in my time of living here, which was, you know, like 5 years, like the weeks during the week I've thought like the city was awesome, but on the weekends you get like tourists, you get like people
The
bridge and tunnel. Right. So I feel like I kind of stayed away on the weekends, kind of stayed in, and like it was better to go out like
During the
Wednesdays,
week,
Thursdays,
absolutely.
Mondays, even like those are like the nice nights because you got like the people who lived in the city.
Absolutely.
A chill atmosphere. You can get in pretty much anywhere.
Absolutely. The Lower East Side, the Lower East Side is a beautiful place. Come Sunday, come Sunday through Thursday.
I remember like I used to go to like pianos on Mondays, and
I
it
used
was
to live
like
around the corner. Yeah.
and then, like that was a fun place on Mondays, and everyone knows Mondays suck in terms of getting back to work, but that place was hopping on Mondays.
It's a good area, but you know what? Astoria is even better.
Yeah.
And I'm being biased. No, but you know what?
This is a good area.
I've actually only been here since February 1st, and when we leave tonight, I want to show you guys a couple of the bars that I've been frequenting because it's actually
I'm not opposed.
pretty fucking rad. A lot of
I'll come along.
a lot of good looking girls, a lot of cool looking.
I'm not
people.
opposed to that.
It's a good time, but I feel like Jay wants to take this podcast in a different direction. Jay, so what's on your mind?
No, I just if we want to change directions, I was just lining up some stuff. It's not like hey, we got to move some shit.
Yeah,
around.
I don't know if everyone's from the city, so maybe we could talk about something that appeals to everyone. But
all right, how about we'll go over some news stories. What do you guys think of that?
yeah.
Just in.
Seems like the one I'm seeing might on screen here might appeal to everyone.
Well,
I see something about Walmart, and there's a Walmart everywhere. So
Walmart stories are always funny.
yeah, I mean everyone is near a Walmart somewhere.
People are up in arms because somebody took over the intercom system at Walmart and said, "Attention, all Walmart customers! All black people leave the store now."
Did we talk about this on the last podcast, or
Did we?
I think so?
Okay.
Is that an old story?
But sorry, I happen. Well, the last one I was on, I
think you were on the last one because I moved. I
Okay.
can't really tell. Okay, how about the really big fat woman from New Jersey?
All right, yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Who wants to become 1,000 pounds?
Oh, I did hear about this though.
Oh, she
Wow.
wants to be big.
Wow, what a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Wait, she wants to be bigger.
Well, she is 400 and something pounds now.
So that little girl next to her is being pulled in by gravity. Or
I thought that was her
what's
arm.
going on there?
I thought that was her arm.
I don't think that girl could leave. The little girl, like she's kind of like pulled in,
So she wants to be fatter.
Yes. She is about 450 pounds now.
She wants to be 1,000.
No. She's 600 pounds now.
Okay.
And she wants to be 1,000. She wants to be the fattest mother ever.
That's terrible.
600. That's 600 pounds.
Now, she claims she's in good health, but she can't walk more than 20 steps without having to sit down, and
Well-
she rides around with those mobile carts and shit. So
Well, if you had to carry around 600 pounds, I mean, 20 steps is pretty good, I think.
I'm carrying around over 200 pounds, and yeah, it's not fun.
Imagine if you had like, if I put
Way over, yeah.
if I put 400 pounds on you and you had to
I
carry
never would've
20,
guessed that.
I mean, I would be tired after 10 feet. So maybe she is in good shape. I mean, 600 pounds is a lot to carry around.
Whatever. I weigh $165 and I'm tired after 3 steps. Whatever.
Yeah, but
It's called being out of shape.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. But
I don't know.
She's also like 4 times the size of you.
All right, just the fact that
So
this
pure numbers wise, she's she's pretty out of shape.
the fact that this was
I
a
was
featured
kidding, man.
story on CNN.com shows what's wrong because we shouldn't be giving these people
So
attention.
she's Homer Simpson.
I know that I am feeding into what I'm complaining about.
Does she realize this has been done on The Simpsons?
It has, and she doesn't even have that little bird thing that
Yeah.
pecks on the button.
That does the job that she doesn't do because she probably does nothing.
But I mean, I know I am being a hypocrite right now and giving her attention when she shouldn't
That's what
get
she
attention. Well, this is what's wrong with our country because everyone gives attention to people like this. Where when you're a freak
yeah.
show, people should just be like, "You're crazy. We're gonna take your kid," and
You're going to be on a
that's
reality
it.
show.
But you know what? She's the head of all these news stories. She gets to keep her kid, and she's being completely. I think it's insane to say you want to weigh 1,000 pounds. That's insane.
Yeah.
And if you're insane, you shouldn't have your kid.
Yeah, I totally agree.
This isn't really funny, but I mean, I think it has to be.
I'm laughing because it's...
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. More so with the fact that it's you're feeling guilty for publicizing this woman for what she's doing. You know, and it's kind of the same vein where there was this guy who was the first guy in line for the iPad over at the Apple store on Fifth Avenue. 59th and 5th.
Oh, Mr. Cool Guy?
Yeah. He was the first
Biggest
one in line.
nerd award.
And so I'm like, oh, what a tool.
Mm-hmm.
People did some research on this, and they revealed that this guy's actually a media whore. Like, this guy's not there really because he wants to actually buy the iPad.
Right.
He's there because he knows that media is going to come to him and say, hey, guess what? You're the first one in line. Can we get on a sound bit?
It's like that.
And he fucking knows it, and he's done it in the past.
Yeah.
And this woman, all she wants is attention,
Like those-
attention.
Like those parents with the kid that got on the hot air balloon, remember?
Attention,
Same shit.
hogs. And you know what? Fuck them, fuck you, get a job.
By the way, the iPad is I don't get the iPad. It's
The iPad, it's pretty much a open face laptop that can't make phone calls.
No, it's sucky as a laptop. It's sucky
the
as
worst.
a phone
It's the
because
worst.
it's sucky as a phone because you can't carry it around because it's too big. It's sucky as a laptop.
It's not a
'cause
phone.
It's a piece of
It's
shit.
not
laptop.
a phone. You can't make phone calls. All it is.
Right, you can't make phone calls.
No, listen.
You can't carry it around like a phone.
No.
You keep it in your place, but it's not as good as a laptop.
Okay.
So
No.
what the fuck do you do?
Okay. So basically, do you know what the iPad is? If you own a laptop, open it up. You have the screen. You have the whatever. Open it up. Remove the section with the keys and keep the fucking face right. And it's you can touch it and move things around.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a laptop that you can touch and move things.
But the average laptop,
you can't make a phone call. You can't do anything on that thing.
Yeah.
It's
The average-
a flap. I'm sorry, Emil.
Yeah.
It's an open faced
dock.
laptop.
Secret identity.
All it is. That's all it is, dude.
It uses basically it's it has the iPhone programming, which is fine for a mobile phone because you can carry it around.
Doesn't make any phone calls.
But you can't an iPhone is not a laptop. It's not a computer. It's a mobile thing. It does some things, but to keep it at home as a laptop, it makes no sense. It's stupid
Well, I like it for one reason.
because it's called Pad.
No.
Oh.
Comic books. It's the perfect size
yeah.
to read comic books
Okay.
mobily,
You know,
which is cool, but not for like $800.
it's
It's
well,
500.
it's only like
500.
It's like 400.
No, if it was like 200,
Yeah.
I would say that's cool. For 500,
You know,
I don't want to read comics.
People are
that
gonna
bad.
buy it for what do you call
Sure.
it? What's that book machine? The one where you download
Kindle.
books. Kindle.
The Kindle, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, you can use it as an alternative to Kindle, which is fine.
The
but-
Kindle's too small for comics.
Right. Right.
Yeah. The Kindle is definitely too small for comics now, and the Kindle is kind of like if you look at the Kindle now, it's and if you look at the iPods when they first came out, was those big thick iPods. Now I work in digital publishing. Like for me, ebooks is what I promote, is where I work. It's
Yeah,
what
I think
it's-
ebooks have
I
to.
get I get paid
a good
to make
platform.
sure that the masses know about ebooks. Now the iPad for us is great because it kind of provides that it's digital, but if you go like this, it gives you that sensation
Yeah.
of being able to turn the page on a physical book,
I feel like
which is great.
Yeah,
Fine,
I feel like
fine,
if
fine.
you haven't gotten
But
a Kindle,
you
if
can't.
you haven't gotten a Kindle yet and you're thinking about getting this, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Kindle still does good work. I mean, there's no color, and the problem is with the iPad is the beauty of the Kindle is that it's not backlit. So meaning that if you're using a Kindle and not being backlit, when you stare into the screen and you're actually reading the words of a particular page,
it's
it
more
doesn't,
like a book.
It doesn't hurt your eyes because it's a book. Now, if you're reading the iPad, it is
It's a
backlit,
screen, yeah.
so you're looking at a screen and it's backlit, so it hurts your eyes.
Right.
And you can only look at a screen for so long
Yeah.
before it starts to get
It's kind of
irritating.
like reading something on your computer.
exactly,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of
I
positive
think
and
that's-
negative.
I think that's the appeal of the Kindle. It's like it almost emulates reading a book, whereas iPad is like reading
Yeah.
something on your computer, which kind of defeats the whole purpose.
But so today was iPadder Day. Because,
What?
Yeah, you guys didn't hear that it was called.
No, I didn't. hear
Oh,
about that.
yeah. Today was labeled as iPadder Day. Now, to me, I think that Steve Jobs and Apple as an organization are building a bunch of fucking eye drones.
Well, they're
Meaning that
brilliant.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like Jim Jones where he brainwashed all these people into fucking drinking Kool-Aid.
You know-
the iPod folks are building eye drones, and I'm sure there's some kind of eye Kool-Aid app out there.
The iPod was
Because
awesome
give me a
when it
break.
came out. The iPhone obviously like is a big hit, but you know, I feel like he always has to have control over everything, and in the end, you know, he may lose out a little bit.
He
on
can
that.
put a fucking eye in front of iTampon and people will fucking buy it.
Well, that's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, iPad. You know,
It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, I think people are kind of going a little bit overboard. I think that they're starting to just kind of like expect these things that they really don't need. You really don't need an iPad if you have a laptop, a fucking iPhone, and an iPod. You don't need the iPad. It's not necessary. But because it's new and a quote-unquote revolutionary.
that's my whole thing. It's like there's no situation where I feel like I would use the iPad. Like it makes no sense.
If you have a laptop, you don't need it. You don't need one. It doesn't make phone calls. If you have a laptop, a functioning laptop, whether it be a Mac or whether it be a PC, you don't need.
I love how this turned into an infomercial.
You don't need it.
I don't
dude.
think Apple will sponsor this show.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
Not that they were.
People
anyway.
need to stop being fucking drones.
Anyway, Android's gonna take over everything.
I still think it's great if you read comics, but for the price, it's not worth it. But you guys don't read comics, so it's pointless for you guys.
Yeah, I actually like. I think in terms of books, it's a good idea. Like if I got into like reading books on, but you know what? I actually like books. Like I actually like the actual having a book.
That's why I don't have a Kindle. I like turning the pages.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would just buy the books, and plus you still have to buy them anyway. So I might as well just buy the book.
Yeah, which you know is something that we hear a lot. You know, in my business, you know, where people still like to have the physical book, but it's also something that when I used to work in my previous industry, people used to always say, you know what, man, like I really enjoy holding the CD in my hand and reading the liner notes and blah 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 blah.
That's a little different. I never believed in that.
And then you ask those same people 5 years later, hey, listen, do you really feel the same way about, you know, wanting to own the physical CD as opposed to just downloading it to your computer? How do you feel? And they're like, fucking A, man, fuck the fucking CD. I'd rather fucking download it. You know, so
Yeah,
it's gonna take.
it's kind of true.
It's adaptation. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And you know, the music industry kind of suffered for it,
Because,
and
you know,
I lost my job
like
over it.
a lot of people were like, you know, they collected CDs and they were like very proud of their CD collections, and you know, these days it's not as common because everyone, you know, has
It's
an
digitized.
iTunes account. You know, they're collecting stuff on their computer as opposed to having a bookcase, you know, a CD case full of CDs. You know, so but you know, it may be true for the same books, but I don't know. I feel like I never felt that way about music. Like I felt like it was equally okay to have something on your computer, but a book, like reading it, you know, just having it in your hand, reading it, it's a little different than, you know, I can't imagine just using a Kindle.
But you know what? I actually, it's a good argument that you're making. I actually did read a book once. I'm
Oh wow!
Well,
Impressive.
Very proud of you.
no,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I meant on the Kindle.
Yeah.
I meant on the Kindle.
End of story.
I guess I should have finished my
I am Leon. I read a book once.
on the Kindle. No. And I bought my girlfriend a Kindle 2 years ago because she's a huge reader, and so there was Percy Jackson. Did you hear about the movie coming out?
Uh-huh.
So I'm a huge Greek mythology geek, and I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to go out and buy the book and whatever. And so I actually read it on the Kindle. Very, very efficient.
Yeah. I think the
very
Kindle is cool,
convenient. You know, if you ask me what book I'm reading now, I'm gonna tell you Kitchen Confidential in physical form.
Yeah.
Because I'm still flipping the
Well,
pages.
I feel like
I read it because it was one
I
of
feel
her
like
books,
a Kindle's a
but
good
I still enjoyed it.
a Kindle's a good experience, and I'm not opposed to the Kindle. But for me personally, you know, like if I'm gonna read a book, I'm just like I like having the book.
Of course, a Kindle. All a Kindle is the fat Model 1 version of the iPod.
Yeah.
In about 10 years, if you're a huge reader, you're gonna be reading your books on some kind of iReader.
You know,
it may be the iPad, maybe the Kindle, maybe the reader, maybe the Nook, whatever it is. You're gonna be reading your book digitally because you know what? That's how as we progress as a culture and technologically, that's what happened. That's why Walkmans are elite. That's why Discmans are elite. Obsolete. Thank you.
You know, but I think the one difference is I only read one book at a time, and for music, like, you know, I'm not going to carry around my whole CD collection.
Right.
So it's nice to have like all your music in a player. Whereas with books, like I'm reading one thing at a time. I mean, I'm sure most people are the same. You know, they read one thing at a time. You know, but you know, maybe you can carry around two books. It's not that difficult to carry around a book or two. But, obviously you're not going to carry around your CD collection.
Right, because I'm very eclectic. I never know what mood I'm going to be in. One day I want to listen to David Bowie. The next minute I'm going to want to listen to Happy Hardcore.
And that's the beauty of the music, portable music player.
Even the same day.
Which was unbeatable. I mean, it's a big hit. And, I don't know anyone who doesn't have some sort of portable music device because it makes sense. But, the Kindle is like some people, it works out for them. But I read one book at a time. So if I have one book on me, it's not a big thing,
Yeah, I have trouble getting into the whole digital book thing. I like turning the pages. For me, pushing a button is not as satisfying as
wrecking your set,
as wrecking my set, or turning a page in a book. I don't know. I get satisfaction at turning the page and knowing I'm getting closer to the end. With the Kindle.
No, I hear you. I totally.
No. We in publishing understand that's how you feel. And so we are always looking for ways to enhance that experience and to bring back the physical book experience back to you.
CD stores kind of went out of style, I guess. But bookstores, I still find it appealing to go to a bookstore and sort of kind of browse, look. They have a coffee shop. I don't know. It's just for me, it hasn't lost its appeal.
CD stores just fuck themselves.
Yeah,
over.
I mean,
we've
CD
talked
store,
about this.
I hopefully bookstores don't go away, which I don't think they will.
I feel like books are more timeless than CDs were because, I feel like vinyl was awesome. Cassettes were more convenient.
I think cassettes were cool,
but
I think vinyl was the best. I think vinyl was just cool. It was good quality music on there. It was big.
I feel like CDs were the third out of the three because.
I totally agree.
Maybe you could get better sound quality than cassette, but recording was not as convenient as cassette, and also they scratched way easier. Cassettes you can get the tape eaten, but the slightest little nick in a CD and your whole thing is just fucked.
Plus, portable CD players, they weren't the greatest. I mean, I don't think I ever. I might have one or two of them, and they sucked. I mean, they skipped all the time.
Yeah, no, Discman sucked.
Yeah, I mean, CD Man were the worst.
If there's a little pop and a scratch in a record, it sounds kind of
basically
cool.
When the portable music players started coming out, your alternative was a CD, portable CD player, which sucked, and then a portable MP3 player, which was awesome. I mean, it was there wasn't any choice basically. I mean. If it's affordable and it's convenient, it's a no-brainer basically.
Yeah. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Yeah, we're almost done. You guys hear about the Biden? Everyone's making a big deal about Biden because he cursed.
Yeah, he did.
He cursed. Holy shit!
So I never cursed.
That was about 3 weeks
except
ago.
for all the time.
We haven't done a show in 3 weeks. Come on.
Oh.
Come on.
So
they're selling T-shirts now with this.
So do people think that he doesn't curse ever? I don't understand what the big deal is. Is it the fact that he actually cursed or that it was caught on tape?
Because half of middle America is just completely fucking prude and just...
I mean, I think that's fucking ridiculous. I mean, seriously. What... I don't understand. I mean, how this is even news. I mean,
I think this was basically put out by Republicans.
And look at the phrase he said. This is a big fucking deal. Can anyone argue with this?
Yeah, it is a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal.
The first time in the history of the United States that something happened. I would say it's a big fucking deal.
I thought it was a dildo.
Yeah, your vibrator's going off.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, if he said fuck Republicans or something, all right, maybe that's a story because he fucked
Well, let's see if we have the audio on this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
I mean, I've heard it.
Oh, wait, that was it. Let's see.
Yeah, it's not easily picked up.
Wait, let me see if I can get that. All right, TMZ, you fucks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
All right. Well, I don't know if you heard that or not. But
Basically,
he
he said under his breath, "This is a big fucking deal."
yeah,
to
well,
Obama.
yeah, it is a big fucking deal.
I mean, I think he was a little dumb. I mean, the microphone was right there. What did you think? Like, there was no chance of it being picked up. I mean, maybe he was a little silly, but, I mean, what is the big fucking deal?
yeah, I mean, I guess when you're in that kind of position, you got to be more careful because assholes make big deals out of shit like this.
I
But-
mean, his statement was truth. So, I mean, the curse wasn't directed at someone. He didn't insult anyone. You were talking about passing this mega, healthcare bill that affects obviously everyone. The statement was basically true. So, it had a curse in it to sort of emphasize how true it was.
There's been a theme of the show a lot lately. Grow the fuck up and toughen the fuck up. If you don't like something,
And in terms of people who said, something like maybe it's not a good influence to kids, whatever. He said it under his breath. It wasn't like it was in the speech. It was picked up. So if you don't want your kids listening to cursing, then don't have your kids listen to what Biden said under his breath. I mean, it's not like it was out there. It wasn't part of the speech.
Well, and it's just a word.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why people get so worked up over a word.
It's the way adults speak. I mean,
I don't want to do this every show. Just, grow up. That's it.
if you have an issue with this, I hate you.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't like you. Do you have anything you want to add, or should we just wrap this shit up?
Whatever you want to do, man.
I think that's an option to just finish it. And
Maybe just say adios and
yeah, I mean
we're gonna go out and have a good time in Astoria tonight. So I'm sure we'll have a good story for next week.
We'll make stories. That's what we're doing the rest of the night.
All right, we'll make stories, and we'll be back next week, regular time, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And
who's up next week?
Everything got so messed up with the move. I think it might be. It's either Mark or Peter. I don't know.
All right, so it's gonna be Mark or Peter next week. I want to tell the listeners that I'm going away for 3 weeks. So I may not be speaking to you guys until about a month and a half because of my.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna be going to South America actually.
Nice.
I'm doing Argentina, Peru, and then I guess going up to Mexico.
Machu Picchu?
It's work. No, I'm going for work.
Oh, you're going for work.
And so, but when I do come back, I want to tell you guys about the shenanigans that I got into.
Sounds good.
It'll be fun.
I want to say, please vote on Podcast Alley.
Vote.
Yes.
Voting started about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Currently in 13th, and there's 4 fake shows in the top 10.
No.
Yes, should be in 9th. Unfortunately, there's 4 fake shows, and Podcast Alley does not care. I emailed.
What does that mean? The shows
Come
don't
on,
actually
guys. Get on this. I voted. You should vote too.
There's one show that is a real show that should be on there, but then they made 3 actual feeds for their show. So 2 of those shouldn't be there. Now there's another show that's actually cheating, who should be in about 417th place because they suck. And they made 2 feeds for their show, and they are both in the top 10 when they should be about 400. So
vote.
Out of all those, 4 out of the 5 of those should not be in the top 10. And since I'm in 13th, I actually should be in 9th, which is very frustrating. But
weak.
It's close. It's close, people.
Get us there, people.
And if you voted,
all I gotta do is sign up. All I gotta do is vote.
And if you voted, make up another email address.
9.
And vote again.
9. 9 votes away. That's it. Just 9 votes away.
I voted, my man. I voted.
I know, and I thank you for voting. 9 votes away from
same
getting
here, I
into the
voted.
top 10. So
Thank me. I want you to succeed.
make it happen, because the more we get in the top 10, the bigger the show gets, and we get more calls, and it benefits everyone. It's just good times for everyone.
To what? Actually have funny shows in the
So
top
first
10?
time
Yeah,
in
I think so.
Astoria.
All right.
Yeah, I think the first Astoria show is a success. So thank you for listening, and we'll be back Friday the 7th.
Oh, you know what would be really cool?
What?
If I called in from South America.
Do it.
That'd be fucking rad.
Friday the
Can we
9th.
Skype or something?
Yes. Brink of Sanity
internet
is
access
the
over
Skype.
there?
631-676-1181 is the phone number.
I'm just wondering if you have.
They also have
brinkofsanity@gmail.com or
Well, as a
Brink of
visitor, I
Sanity
don't know
Show.
if you like instantly get internet
.com.
access.
I'm
as soon as-
in a hotel.
Oh, okay.
There's another email,
All right.
and so is talking over talking.
Sorry, Jay.
All right, we'll be back Friday the 9th.
Astoria.
Astoria.